This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Now that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself a big...
Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. It was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback. And
trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Oh, now he pulls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
4th down, here's Jackson. Open man is Taylor, he's got it. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 69 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on, man.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Open space inside the 10. That good for 22 and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number?
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Adams has it, complete. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
The Red Sea points, and there he goes. The 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
again.
and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now.
Set! Green, 39!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Green, 39! Green, 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He did. Well, to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
And he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And now running right through it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. And it's now the Bears leading by a couple of touchdowns in that one. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A first down carry for Barkley. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
This is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defense.
And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run with Barkley. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. Full step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll bring it down at the 27-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time. Back to throw now on 1st down. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll look to throw. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as they'll go for 2.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Well, that changes things, obviously. They can elect to bring the kicking team out now and try it from the 20 if they want.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did exactly that. Going for 2 from the 7 versus kicking it from the 20, I like my odds better with my kicker.
They're going to try and run here. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, I think the Packers got it. Yep, Green Bay football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Minnesota, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Packers, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.